I never imagined that the child I once held close to my heart would one day treat me with such coldness. Even in my frail body weakened by illness, I carried a love that never wavered. But one evening, in front of his wife, my son asked me to wash his clothes, as if my dignity no longer mattered. My trembling hands, my weary heart, and my silent tears told a story no one cared to hear. This is not just about laundry. It is about respect, about a mother's worth, and about the pain hidden in silence. What happened that day became a tale I will never forget, a lesson carried in the fragile strength of a mother's love. My body had grown weak with age and illness, but my heart still carried the love of a mother. Each day was a struggle, my hands trembling, when I tried to hold even the simplest things. Still, I found ways to manage, because a mother never wishes to burden her children. I thought my son understood my pain. He had seen me countless times struggling to walk, leaning on the wall for support. But I comforted myself with the thought that, at least in my home, among my family, I was safe. The truth, however, was far harsher. My son no longer saw me as the woman who raised him with sleepless nights, but as someone to order around. My silence hid my pain, but deep down, I feared the day my weakness would be tested against his lack of respect. That day came sooner than I imagined. It was a quiet afternoon when the blow came. My son, sitting comfortably with his wife, turned to me with an expression that stung my soul. In front of her, he asked me to wash his clothes, as if I were a servant in my own house. My heart froze. Did he forget my trembling hands? Did he not see how illness drained me each morning? His words felt heavier than any cloth I could ever carry. I looked at my daughter-in-law, expecting her to intervene. But instead she lowered her eyes and remained silent. My dignity shattered like glass. For years I thought respect was a bond unbreakable between a child and a parent. But in that moment I realized my son saw me not as his mother, but as a burden to command. The room felt colder, and so did his heart. I carried his clothes to the corner, each step burning my heart more than my body. My hands trembled, my breath grew heavy, but I forced myself forward, not because I had the strength, but because my silence had become my shield. My tears fell quietly, soaking the fabric before the water did. My son never noticed. My daughter-in-law never cared. They carried on with their laughter, while I drowned in my pain. That day I understood the cruel weight of humiliation. Words are not always needed to wound someone. Sometimes silence speaks far louder. My tears told a story neither of them wanted to hear. Yet in those tears was not only pain, but also a reminder of the deep love that mothers carry. Love that endures, even when broken. In the days that followed, I did not confront my son with anger. Instead, I chose silence, for silence sometimes teaches louder than shouting. But within me, I knew this story carried a lesson greater than myself. Respect is not measured in chores, nor in obedience. It is measured in how we treat those who once gave us everything. A mother's weakness is not a license for cruelty, but a call for kindness. My son may have humiliated me, but I pray he learns that dignity once broken is hard to repair. This tale is not just mine. It belongs to every parent whose love is taken for granted. In my weakness, I discovered my true strength, the power to forgive, but also the right to be respected. And so my story remains, a mother's tale of pain and respect, passed on as a lesson for generations. And so my tale comes to an end. A mother's body may grow weak, her hands may tremble, but her heart never stops carrying love. Yet love should never be mistaken for servitude. Respect is the truest gift a child can return to the one who gave them life. My story is not just mine. It belongs to every parent whose silence hides their pain, and to every child who must learn that boundaries and dignity are sacred. Remember this: a mother's weakness is not her end, but her reminder to the world that she deserves honor, not humiliation.